Coming into last weekend's 5A Division I state title game, the Carroll Dragons were riding a wave of excitement and good fortune. Fresh off a thrilling come-from-behind victory over Skyline, the Dragons were hoping to close out the season with a win over Fort Bend Hightower. The Hurricanes were led by one of the state's most explosive players and senior quarterback Braylon Addison. Addison entered the game with 2,000 yards passing and another 1,500 on the ground. But though Carroll has become synonymous with dominance in Texas high school football, it had been 5 long years since the Dragons had played for all the marbles. Head coach Hal Watson had endured his fair share of criticism since taking over for the legendary Todd Dodge, but has gained the respect and support of former players such as Justin Padron.
Coach Watson, he's dealt with a lot. I'm very happy for him and his whole entire staff, his brother, defensive coordinator. So I know it's special for them. He's kind of made his stamp on this program as well, like Coach Dodge did. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be the guy that would have to come in and replace Coach Dodge after that run.
Ron Mendoza was a defensive coordinator at Carroll during the Dodge era and knows all too well the pressure that coaches face at the state's premier program.
With the tradition that Ledbetter had when we first got here. So then when we first got here, we started off the year 0-3, 2 years in a row. And they were fixing to run us out of town. But, we made it to the playoffs each and every year. And then our third year, we played for the state championship.
No position in all of Texas high school football falls under as much scrutiny as the quarterback at Carroll High School. But junior Kenny Hill showed all season that he has the moxie and the skill to lead his team to the promised land. 42,890 fans were on hand to see this one, and Hill will get Carroll off to a good start by marching the Dragons all the way down to the Hightower 7-yard line, but the drive would stall, and Carroll would have to settle for an early 3-zip lead. Hightower wasted no time getting on the board in their first possession, driving 80 yards in just 9 plays. Tuck-in Henderson muscled his way in for the final 4 yards to give Hightower a 6-3 lead. Early in the second quarter, Hightower extends the lead to 13-8 as Braylon Addison made this quarterback draw from 15 yards out look easy. But as they had done all year long, Carroll rallies back, getting some much-needed momentum right before half as Kenny Hill caps an efficient drive with a 1-yard plunge to cut the Hightower lead to 16-14. As has been the case for most of the playoffs, Southlake Carroll appeared to be overmatched by a faster, more athletic team. Hightower started the second half just as they had in the first, with a brilliant drive that looked too easy as Addison hooked up with Ryan Nelson for a 30-yard touchdown, and just like that, Hightower was back in front 23-14. Some halftime adjustments paid immediate dividends for the Carroll offense as they decided to attack deep. Kenny Hill hitting Savion Holmes in stride from 59 yards out to cut the lead to 2. Then it was the Carroll defense clamping down. With Hightower driving deep in Dragon territory, the Hightower coaching staff elects to go for it on 4th and 3, and senior linebacker Will Davis dropped Braylon Addison for a loss to give Carroll all the momentum. The offense would take over from there as Kenny Hill engineers another surgical drive as he carves up the Hurricane defense with precision passes. The final one to Corey Kemp across the middle from 25 yards out. That gives Carroll their first lead since midway through the first quarter at 28-23. But you can only hold a player like Braylon Addison down for so long. On Hightower's next possession, he needs just one play to swing the momentum back to the Hurricanes, as he shows the game-breaking speed that makes him one of the best in the state. Explodes around the left end, races 80 yards to put Hightower back out in front, 29-28. Early in the fourth quarter, fittingly, Kenny Hill would cap a 28-yard drive with a 6-yard touchdown run, and that would prove to be the game winner, as Southlake Carroll completes a dream season with a perfect 16-0 record. For head coach Hal Watson and this year's Dragons, they embraced the tradition, but took pride in writing their own chapter in the storied history of Southlake Carroll football.
Yes! I never came in trying to replace Todd Dodge. Tremendous respect for him, and it's not replaceable. I really chose to just be myself. All these guys buy into it, and I know it was important to them. It was important to me, but I told Kenny when he replaced all these guys, I said, just be yourself and let all the other people talk about that stuff.
It's an amazing feeling. I don't think I can ever compare to those guys who came through here, but I'm just trying to be the best I can be
And his best was more than enough, as we're proud to announce the Southlake Carroll Dragons are our Chevrolet Team of the Year.